Hi guys, welcome to my channel AA Anime, and today we will be talking about 10 new isekai anime announced for 2025. At number 1 we have A Wild Last. Boss appeared. Fans of OP isekai anime protagonists will be eating well throughout 2025, and A Wild Last Boss Appeared should be a particularly great feast. With a premise that is similar to Overlord, the light novel revolves around a man who awakens in the body of an OP villainous gaming character, only with the world being quite a bit different from the original game. For one thing, Rufus, the protagonist, is way more powerful than pretty much everyone else in this world, and she is backed by a plethora of strong characters. Number 2 is a water magician. The water magician revolves around Ryu gets a second go at life, and he not only picks up water magic, but also has a trait that lets him remain endlessly young. The water magician establishes the latter by having the protagonist spend years alone at the start of the story, only to eventually transform into a more traditional adventure series. Number 3 is The Beginning After the End. The Beginning After the End follows a king who gets a chance to start fresh in a new realm, which seems perfect at first, but has a darkness brewing underneath. The manhwa and its light novel adaptation are both highly regarded, blending drama and slow life moments quite well. Number 4 is I'm the evil lord of an intergalactic empire. Sounding like a fun twist from the norm, I'm the evil lord of an intergalactic empire follows a guy who gets a second chance at life after a just all-around terrible existence. He is reincarnated by a deity-like figure who initially seems to be kind. In truth, the latter is responsible for ruining the protagonist's previous life. As Liam, the MC finds himself in a position of power as part of an intergalactic empire, a role he tries to use for personal satisfaction. However, he might just be too good of a person to do anything all that cruel. Number 5 is The Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world. As made obvious by the title, the story follows the Red Ranger, Tugo Asagaki, as he finds himself in another world. Tugo is far from undefeatable, especially in situations where he cannot summon a mecha. Although not devoid of action, the anime is primarily a comedy that focuses on an ensemble cast. Number 6 is From Bureaucrat to Villainous. Dad's been reincarnated. It is about a middle-aged parent dies and is reborn as an Autumn Games villainous, a situation that naturally catches him by surprise. Wanting to allow the heroes to lead happy lives, he decides to follow the game's story. However, he is just not cut out to be a baddie. Therefore, he just ends up becoming everybody's dad, even if they do not realize it. From Bureaucrat to Villainous has also introduced a fun twist by incorporating characters from the protagonist's previous life. Number 7 is Magic Maker How to Create Magic in Another World. Magic Maker takes a different approach by revolving around an MC who discovers and develops magic with help from his sister. The story is relatively slow, chronicling the protagonist's efforts to advance the field. While this gives him a considerable edge over most people, he is not necessarily OP since he exists in a world with dangerous monsters that are not pushovers. Number 8 is I'm a noble on the brink of ruin, so I might as well try mastering magic. This anime revolves around an overpowered protagonist who, as the title suggests, finds himself in the body of a noble child. This story is fairly run-of-the-mill for the genre. That does not mean it has nothing to offer, but it is very much a power fantasy with some questionable harem elements, revolving around an overpowered protagonist like who, as the title suggests, finds himself in the body of a noble child. This story is fairly run-of-the-mill for the genre. That does not mean it has nothing to offer, but it is very much a power fantasy with some questionable harem elements. Number 9 is Promise of Wizard, an adaptation of a Japan-only video game. Promise of Wizard has 2 manga under its belt, so the story has some mileage. A woman is chosen as a sage and summoned to another world by a group of wizards, all in the hopes of fighting off a threat known as the Great Calamity. The last one is Someday Will I Be the Greatest Alchemist. Takumi is accidentally summoned to a new world along with a group of heroes. As an apology, he is allowed to pick any skill, and he opts for creation. Essentially, this turns him into an alchemist capable of creating anything, with few restrictions, instantly making him overpowered. The possibly aspect might just be a humble brag. And that's it for today. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment for more.